Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, it is a highlight and contour video. There is so many ways that you can highlight and contour, so I just want to put this out there that this way works best for me, and I just want to show you how I highlight and contour. Obviously everybody's face shape is completely different, so you just have to play around with whatever works best for you. I'll leave some links to some charts down below, so you need to determine what kind of face shape you have. You'll find that you'll learn as you play around with it. Highlighting and contouring adds definition and dimension to the face. When you haven't got any contouring or highlight going on, I feel like the face just looks flat. Okay, let's get going. So as you can see, I've already done my eyes, prepped my skin and applied my corrector and foundation. So the basis of contouring and highlighting is effectively to create illusions. Contouring is used to create the illusion of shadowing and defining. So here I'm just demonstrating all the areas that I want to push back or contour. So my forehead, the hollows of my cheeks, my jawline, my nose, if you want a snatched nose of course, and my full trim or cupid's bow, and underneath my lips as well. Shadows are cool tones, so you want to use a contour shade that has grey undertones and is 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin tone. So to start off with, I'm going to be using my Contour 2 palette by Contour Cosmetics, and I'm going to be mixing these two brown shades. So as you can see, I'm just going over my forehead here, and this will make my forehead appear smaller. So next, for the hollows of my cheeks, a great tip to find the hollows of your cheeks is to roll your makeup brush up and down against your cheek, and where you feel the dip just after your cheekbone is where your hollows are, and this is where you want to contour. I like to create thicker lines on the outer edges, and then I bring the lines in to curve them up slightly to create higher cheekbones. And notice the lines are much thinner as it tails off. Contouring on the hollows of your cheeks just makes the cheekbones appear defined, and it slims down the face as well. So for my jawline, I like to follow my natural jawline shape, creating a shadow and defining it rather than changing the shape of it. So onto my nose, I'm just creating a line as straight as possible, starting off near my eyebrows and going down towards the tip of my nose. If you want a slimmer looking nose, you want to create the lines as close as possible, and this will give the illusion of a slimmer nose. As I get to the tip, I'm rounding it off with the contour to shorten the nose. Next, onto my lips. So I do have quite full lips already, but I like to do this step because it just helps define them a little bit more. So if you add depth to your face by contouring, you also want to bring features forward. Here I'm just showing you all the areas you want to typically highlight and any areas where the natural light would hit. So that would be your forehead, the bridge of your nose, cupid's bow and chin, underneath the contour line, and this is actually optional and I'll tell you why later, and your under eyes. To highlight, I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Creamy Beige, so you want to use a shade that's 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin tone. Here I'm just taking the concealer down my forehead and the bridge of my nose, and then moving on to my cupid's bow just to make my lips appear more pouty. Next, I'm going in under the contours of my cheeks, and as I mentioned before, this is optional. I just like doing this step because it helps create a more cleaner and defined contour line, and it just helps it stand out a little bit more as well. Next, moving on to my under eyes, and this is the bit I love. I love a brighter under eye. So I'm dragging the concealer in a triangle shape to create a longer face shape. My face is fairly round, so this helps create that illusion. I'm also hugging the concealer down my nose contour. This is known as reverse contouring and will just make the lines appear more defined and clean. And it just kind of makes everything look a bit more seamless as well, because you don't want like 3 different skin tones going on in that area. And finally, I'm highlighting my chin. Now, using my damp beauty blender, I am about to spend the next 10 minutes blending away, which is why this is not appropriate for a day-to-day look, because it is so time consuming, but super glam nonetheless. I like to start off blending out my contour, and then I like to do my concealer to prevent it from creasing, especially my under eyes. So when it comes to my under eyes, I'm really just pushing the product in. I'm not swiping it away because that way you'll be left with streaks. You can see me here looking upwards to the heavens above, and this is because I want to blend out any creasing that may have occurred while the product has been sitting there. If you want all of this hard work to last, then you have to set it. And I'm going to be setting all of these cream products using powders. So my under eyes is the last thing I like to blend out, but the first thing I like to set. So I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm just taking my beauty blender again, and I'm looking upwards and applying a whole heap of powder on my under eyes. I love using the beauty blender. It's so versatile, and you can use it on liquids as well as powders, which is great because you end up relying on less brushes to get the job done. I'm also applying the powder under my cheekbones here as well. My skin type is very dry, so I don't want to go crazy and powder my entire face because I don't need to. But if you do have oily skin, then feel free to apply the powder wherever you need to. And I know this looks like a mess right now, but we're going to let the product absorb and then I'll dust it off later. You may have heard of the term baking, and this is exactly what it is. It gives you this super flawless finish. So while I leave my face to bake, I'm moving on to setting my contour, and to do that I'm using my sleek contour and highlight palette, and I'm basically just applying it everywhere we've contoured. Once I'm happy with the way that that's all set, I'm taking a clean powder brush and I'm just dusting the excess powder off, and as you can see here, that any product that hasn't been absorbed just falls away. Next, I'm applying some warmth back to my face. So I'm taking this bronzer again from the Sleek Contour and Highlight palette, and I'm just applying that on my cheekbones. I love the gradient effect it gives from the contour to the bronzer and then eventually to the highlight. Once I'm happy with that, I'm taking this NYX Dewy Finish spray and spritzing that all over my face. And as I mentioned before, I'm quite dry, so I don't want to look too powdery, and the powdered look won't help me throughout the day. So applying this will add some moisture back to my face, and I like to do this step before applying my blush and highlight because it really gives the product something to stick to. Next, for blush, you guys should know by now that I love mixing my blushes, so I'm using Peach by MAC and Orgasm by NARS, and I'm applying that to the apples of my cheeks and blending that in towards the bronzer. No highlight and contour look, in my opinion, would be complete without some glow, so I'm taking this iconic London Illuminator drops and applying that to the high points of my face, and I'm just using my fingers to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my beauty blender, the versatile beauty blender, and I'm going to blend that all in. You could just leave it at that, but if you've been following me for a while, then you would have known that I'm all about that glowing life. So for my final step, I'm just taking this stunning highlighter called Gilded Honey by Laura Geller, and I'm just going on top of my already glowing face. Oh, and also I'm just adding the highlighter to my brow bones as well. It looks so pretty and shimmery when the light or sun catches this area, so I love doing that. Be right back. I'm just going to apply some lippy and an eyeliner to complete the look. Oh, and some setting spray, of course. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a little bit as well, and if you did, then definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And like always, don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can catch me on Snapchat, and if there's any other videos that you want to see as well, please leave your suggestions in the comments section. I'll definitely film those for you. Can I think of anything else? No. Okay, bye.